Hello, I'm Hugh, and this is the latest in our mini-series looking at the political parties standing in Scotland for the July election. We're going through the parties in alphabetical order. Alaba is on our website already, we did them the other day, and today we're looking at the Conservatives. Scotland used to be a very conservative country. When I was born in 1955, most people in Scotland voted Conservative and Unionist. And in the 55 general election, they won most Scottish seats on 50.1% of the vote. That's slightly higher than the UK vote share, which was 49.7%. In the 1931 general election, the Conservative vote was even higher in Scotland at 54.3%. Since then, as you can see, it was steadily downhill, with its lowest being at 14.9%. Surprisingly, the Conservative vote then picked up in the Theresa May strong and stable election of 2017 up to 28.6%. Conservative leader Ruth Davidson, who's now left politics, was able to win over most of the Unionist votes and got 13 Conservative MPs returned. Today they only have 7. We're probably right in suggesting that a vote share in the high 20s is the Conservatives' natural vote in Scotland today. There are, after all, 2 other Unionist parties competing for the Unionist half of the vote. Douglas Ross, Scottish Conservative leader, has not been helped by his boss in London, who made such an amateurish start to the campaign last week. Sunak's rain-soaked speech outside Number 10 was followed by a visit to the Titanic Yard in Belfast, then a trip to Wales where he asked how people were looking forward to the European Football Championships, which Wales isn't in. He then suggested bringing back conscription. Ruth Davidson wondered if an enemy infiltrator was writing his speeches for him. Nobody expects the Conservatives to do well in July, and that goes for Conservative MPs too. We heard last week that over 70 of them are not going to stand again, possibly to avoid the humiliation of certain defeat. Former Minister Aberdeen-born Michael Gove has announced that he's standing down, so anti-Tory viewers who stay up late to watch the results won't have his defeat to celebrate. The Scottish Tories would do well if they can keep their 7 seats, although they might lose because of the UK-wide unpopularity of the Conservative government. Some of their coats are on a sugary peg, and in some parts of Scotland the Conservatives are also targeting the SNP because they're not looking so good either. Most vulnerable is Scottish Secretary Alistair Jack in Dumfries and Galloway. Latest polls show him losing to Labour. At the time we made this, electoral calculus shows the Tories holding on to 5 seats at opposite ends in the country. They look like keeping their other Dumfriesshire seat and the 3 in the northwest around northeast. The main battleground in Scotland is in the highly populated central belt, of course, and that's a straight fight between Labour and the SNP, and at the moment it looks like one the SNP is losing. The Conservatives didn't want to set up the Scottish Parliament in the first place in 1997, but now it's the only thing that keeps them relevant in Scottish politics. For July, electoral calculus predicts a Tory disaster. According to recent polls, the Conservatives could fall from having 376 MPs to a pathetic 92. In the Scottish Parliament, however, they continue to be the official opposition, having 31 out of 129 MSPs from the last election. Here's Scottish Tory leader in the Scottish Parliament, Douglas Ross, taking on the First Minister Swinney on the Michael Matheson phone charges controversy.
It is incredible and indefensible by the First Minister. He told us, when asking for our support to make him First Minister, he would be First Minister for all of Scotland. What Scotland is seeing is he's the First Minister that backs his pals. He is supporting Michael Matheson as a friend and colleague, not doing the right thing for Scotland or this Parliament. And I'm sorry. My colleague Annie Wells and Oliver Mundell and every member on that committee went in to do their job as they were asked to do by this Parliament. And if anyone has brought the Scottish Parliament into disrepute, it's a member who tried to claim £11,000 from the Scottish taxpayer and tried to get away with it.
Douglas Ross, Scottish Conservative leader. Why is John Swinney giving the Tories such a popular issue to take up? Surely most voters agree with Ross that Matheson did not do the right thing when they realised he'd run up an enormous roaming charge on his work's iPad and then tried to get us to pay for it. So for 2 years at least, the Conservatives will be a voice in the Scottish Parliament, even if they are reduced to a Saz rump in Westminster. Maybe one of them will be the next Tory leader. After all, there's going to have to be another leadership election this autumn. I wouldn't put too much money on any Scottish candidate, however. After all, Sunak called the general election during the Scottish school holidays. Was that done to complicate the campaigns of Scottish Labour and the SNP, or did he choose that date because the Conservatives really don't think about Scotland all that much? What do you think? We'd like to see your voice in the comments below, so let us know, please. We'd appreciate that. Also, if you like what we're doing in News for Scotland, please give us a hand, give us a subscribe to our channel, and we'll keep you informed. We'll be back with more political profiles in the next couple of days, and next up, it's Liberal Democrats. Thanks for watching.